As the nation focuses on the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, it's important to remember that there was another storm which impacted Louisiana. Hurricane Rita did much more damage to Louisiana agriculture than Hurricane Katrina. This week in Louisiana Agriculture's Avery Davidson learns more about the recovery by Louisiana farmers and ranchers over the last 5 years as he visits with this week's in-studio guest. Avery?
Mike, the hurricanes of 2005 did do a lot of damage to Louisiana and Louisiana agriculture. To talk about the recovery from that, I'm joined by Dr. Kurt Guidry with the LSU AgCenter and Ag Economist there. Kurt, what sort of numbers and changes did we see following the storms of 2005?
Well, obviously when we looked at Hurricane Katrina and Rita, they had a very devastating impact on Louisiana agriculture and the infrastructure in the state. We estimated well over $1 billion in estimated damage from those storms. And then we had kind of a break from hurricanes in 06 and 07, but then we had Gustav and Ike come in 2008, which brought another about $1 billion worth of damage to the state. And then in 2009, while we didn't have hurricanes, we also had about 30 inches of rain in about a month period in large portions of our growing area at harvest time, which we estimated caused another $370 million of damage. So when we look at from 2005 to 2010 to the current year, we've had 3 years with significant damage in those time frames. What most people don't understand is that producers can have one bad year. It takes 3 or 4 or 5 good years to make up for those bad years.
And you mentioned when we were speaking before we came on camera that we've seen some reduction in the numbers of producers and numbers of acres. Tell me a little bit about the change, the shift that we saw from 2004 to now.
Prior to the hurricanes, to 2009, we've had, in the case of cotton, for example, go from 1,500 producers from our ag summary numbers down to about 500 producers. Now, not all of that is related to those storms. Some of it's related to those producers looking for some other commodities. But when you look at all of our commodities, we're down about anywhere from 750 to 1,000 farmers in total across all those major producers, according to our ag summary numbers, from 2004 to 2009. Now again, some of that's natural attrition. Some of that is just producers leaving the industry for whatever reason. But a lot of that is due to the fact that we've had these 3 or 4 really bad weather-related issues since 2005. And then the other impact is when you look at trying to recover from a storm, and then remember what happened to input prices. Input prices started going through the roof. So now that we've got producers trying to recover and having to go out and borrow money, they have to go out and borrow 20, 30, 40% higher, more money than they did the previous year, simply because input prices went through the roof. We saw fuel prices go up. We saw fertilizer prices go up. So it created a very difficult financial situation for most of our producers.
A lot of focus lately been on aquaculture. Tell me a little bit about the shift we saw after the storms, and what do you think is going to happen now with the BP oil disaster there on the Gulf Coast?
Oh, when you look at it in cases of shrimp and oysters, for example, in a lot of those cases from 2004 to 2009, we saw upwards of 50% of a reduction in terms of the number of producers in those industries. Now BP adds another level of difficulty to those producers and those fishermen. The one thing that we've seen is that those prices have improved a little bit for those commodities, which makes it a little bit better situation. But again, it's just another layer of difficulty for those producers having to overcome in terms of trying to fully recover from what started really back in 2005 with Hurricane Katrina.
We all knew it was going to be a long recovery process. Let's hope that this one from the BP oil disaster doesn't take as long. Thank you very much. Dr. Kurt Guidry with the LSU AgCenter and Ag Economist there. So Mike, of course it's been a long road. You and I both know that. Hopefully the road ahead will be paved with amber waves of gold. Back to you.
Avery Davidson, thanks.